Yes, so we are live here on our webinar platform and also on our YouTube channel. So welcome everyone. For the viewers that are watching us right now on YouTube, if you would like to have and to ask questions to us during this webinar, please register to it by the link that you see in the stream description. Because we have no comments on YouTube available right now. So welcome, and today we speak about SME lending. My name is Olena Gryniuk. I will be your host today, and my guest today is Michał Tusznio, Executive Director of Financing Center at ING Bank Poland, and a winner of our two awards, CEE SME Banking Award 2020 and 2021. For the best digital SME lending solution. So hello, Michał, and thank you very much for joining me today.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here and always to help to share what we have and our experience.
Thank you. Okay, so before we start, let me mention very shortly organizational information. So we plan our webinar for 45 minutes. We are recording this webinar, so right after we finish, you will receive a link to the video. And we will start from the presentation, from a short one from my side, and then we will be ready to discuss and answer also your questions about SME lending. So please type your questions into the chat even during the presentation, so as soon as you have them, and we will be ready to answer them afterwards. So let me share with you what is the status quo and what is the situation on the digital assimilating here in the CEE region, and then let's have a discussion on that. So as you know, probably we at SME Banking Club are doing and producing every year our digital SME lending study, where we analyze availability of the lending products at banks and also non-banking financial organizations on the topic on whether micro and SME customers can apply for the loan online. So our last analysis was done autumn last year. So we analyzed 10 countries. 94 organizations were in the scope of the analysis. So 20 parameters were taken into account. So whether the customer can apply online, whether the customer can receive a decision online, sign an agreement, get funding, etc. And the final study is available, the full study is available for our members, or you can buy it as a separate document as well. So this is a file with best examples from the region with a detailed description of the lending processes, and also a table, an Excel table with 20 parameters for each 94 banks and financial organizations on the availability of the processes in digital channels for SMEs. Now I will share with you some main extracts and results of it. So as I mentioned, from 94 banks and financial organizations here in the CEE region, 23 has and provide a possibility to apply online for the loan for micro and small business customers, and 12 of them offer fully digital process, meaning that the customer starts from the applying online and finalizes with the digital signing of the lending agreement. So with no visits to the branches and with no signing of the paper documents. Mainly, this is so 87% of these processes are available for private entrepreneurs, and 43% of the banks offer these processes for the companies, for the legal entities. This is a country distribution of the banks and financial organizations offering digital SME lending processes. Main part of them is located in Poland. As you see, the second place is Czech Republic. After that goes Romania and Turkey. And also two aspects that we were analyzing and what we are watching when we analyze the bank's offers for digital SME lending is first is how many clicks SME customers should do to find the online application or to find the offer and apply for loan. Of course, if this is a fintech company specializing only for this part of the lending on this project, this is first page of the company. If this is an online banking or mobile banking for banking customers, so this is third or second click. And if it is a web page, on average, SME customer should do 3 or 4 clicks to find online application and to start online application. For several banks, this is we saw also the examples when customers should have done up to 6 clicks to find a list of documents at the website, at the bank website. So for us, this means that this is this is too difficult for the SME customer. It means for us that the SME lending, maybe for this bank at this very moment, is not the priority. And the second thing what we were watching when analyzing the banks is the number of the fields in the online loan applications which SME customers should fulfill manually. And on average, this was that for the new customer. So if customer is new to a bank and applies, for example, via the online or mobile page, so this is on average 28 fields should be fulfilled. And if it is existing customer, this is on average 16. So half of the information on existing customers is fulfilled automatically in the application. So here are 3 examples that I would like to share, and then we will go to the discussion. So first, one of the good and best, I would say, even examples coming from Moneta Money Bank from Czech Republic. They received our awards as the best digital SME lending solution last year, and shared this with ING Bank Poland as well. So they offer to the SME customers, both to existing ones and to the new ones, fully online and mobile, so fully digital process of applying and receiving loan, both for private entrepreneurs and legal entities. And also they have it omni-channel, so that the customer really can start saying from the maybe mobile phone and then finish the process on their laptop via the online process. So they have 11 steps during which the customer applies, uploads also some documents, inputs company's information. Then the decision making is automated, so it goes to the scoring, and then all the necessary checks, and customer receives the agreement. And if confirmed, then it is the signing of the agreement is done automatically, is done digitally by one penny transfer, and then the customer can receive a loan on the banking account. We did, I will also send you after the webinar and link here on the YouTube. We did a webinar that was devoted exactly to the Moneta Money Bank lending processes a year ago. So you can just watch if you will be interested in the details. The next example that I wanted to bring here is example from Czech Republic from fintech called Limonero. This is a new one. They announced and started with the product last year. This is online lending for the e-commerce sector. This is also purely online process. And a customer can receive a loan in 10 minutes. So customer goes through the process on the Limonera website step by step and can receive a loan online. The maximum amount that they are providing here is 100,000 euros equivalent. And the example that we would like to discuss with Michał in detail a bit later is the online process for the business customers in ING Bank Poland. Just to mention that ING was the first and I think at the moment the only bank here in the CEE region that has digital processes for all customer segments. So both private entrepreneurs and also legal entities, SMEs, and also large corporates, if they prefer to go through the process online, they can do this because they can apply if it is a new customer from the online bank page, and if it is an existing customer from the online banking. Here is an example for the SMEs and corporates application from the online banking called ING Business. So the customer choose the application, the loan application that he would like or they would like to apply. For example, working capital loan, then goes through the fields that are necessary to be fulfilled. So now the amount, which amount customer would like to request, then it goes to the company data and company details. Part of them are fulfilled automatically. Then customers, companies, owners, also these fields are partially fulfilled automatically in the online form. Then I think I clicked one. Then also all the statements should be marked and financial data should be inputted by the customer. And then after this fulfillment, also the customer should fulfill if there are some other liabilities or loans in other banks or financial organizations. And after checking and approving this information, customer sends the application to the bank. So as I mentioned, this is available from the online banking for existing customers and for the new customers via the bank's webpage. And the applications looks similar here. And also, as I remember, if I remember right, Michał, so this was if the amount is up to 100,000 euros, these loans are really instant, goes through the instant processes, and it also takes like several minutes to make a decision. So let us discuss your process, and first of all, tell me if I'm right.
Yes, you are right. We have two journeys for existing clients, which you are mentioning, which is available from the internet banking, and for the new to ING clients, which is from the web page. The second process was launched with automatic decision in August last year, but of course the digital possibility for the digital path to apply it for the loan was launched much more earlier in that time. But the automatic decision for the prospect clients was added in August last year. So this is the two paths which we have. The main element, which I think is you also mentioned, but we have it as one of the banks. I think nobody else has it. We have it for the wide range of customers, from the small one to the medium size up to large corporates. And of course, we don't discriminate any client who wants to apply online, if it's a smaller or medium or large. And we have these journeys. Doesn't matter if it's done automatic decision online or if not, even though you do it online. So the application is designed like that, but all clients actually in ING, which are the companies, all entrepreneurs, are, you can say, going online and applying online. So they are not, having any traditional paper application that they have to, fulfill, because we allow them to do every application of the loan online. Doesn't matter if it's small or medium or big company.
Yes, you were actually, as I also mentioned, the first bank here in the CEE region offering this online processes for all the segments. My question to you is, which challenges did you face when going through the process of digital transformation in the lending area? And also, which advice could you give to the banks that are starting now their journeys in digitalizing SME lending process?
Actually, we started, this journey many years ago, when it was different times, I would say, from the perspective of the market expectation. We started in 2007 when, the market was, common that every application is in the traditional paper application, processed from one desk to another, usually with the stamps of, people who are approving, checking this application. And at that time, we set our goal that we want to change it and we want to move from this traditional way of thinking with working with paper to the workflow tool and the digital paths. So that was our goal, which we established in 2007. And then, of course, we were consequently doing step by step this journey, and going forward, we implemented this workflow tool, get rid of paper on the first stage, and move to the workflows when the people were still processing the transactions. Doesn't matter if it was small, medium, or large loan, but in the electronic way. And afterwards, when we had this one done, then we decided let's go further. And then, of course, the market was trying, to adopt to what we already did, because we were quite of not a follower, but game changer on the market in Poland. But we transferred from paper to digital, and then our competition was like, okay, so what is ING doing that they can do it quicker than we do? And that was the quickness of the process, because we didn't have to take any paper and we could do it electronically. So the process time reduced, I think, from 15 or 17 days, which we had to get approval, up to 24, 48 hours to get an approval. And that was quite a big game changer. And afterwards, we said that, okay, there are small loans, medium loans, and big loans. Yeah. And then what is the reason to do it the same, the small, the medium, and the big one? So let's do it the other way. Let's go for the automatic decision and give the instant lending to the clients who need really fast decisions and really needs to have a quick approval of the loan much more quicker. And that's why we establish another goal. Let's go for the instant. And then going forward, we consequently we're going with the strategy, adding additional functionalities with this online decision engine on the online application. So it was like a consequent, I would say, priority which we established, that we want to get rid of paper. To be honest, but on the other hand, we want to deliver very quick decision to the client. And that was our goal, and we wanted to promise our customers that we can do it. We can give you as quick as you want our promise that this decision is binded. And of course, even though there are some, still discussion about sometimes pricing, if it's a larger loan, or some discussion about the covenants, but this is going after the decision that we can say, we can give you this amount. And that was, I think, crucial for this digital transformation, but on the one hand, get rid of paper, on the other hand, giving our clients a promise that we can do quick and fast.
Let's also talk about your new process for the new customers, like for prospects. As you mentioned, this was last year, last August, you launched this process. Are you glad with the results? How it is going now? What are the results? And yes, can you share with us like more details on the process, and also on the difference maybe between the lending to existing customers and to the prospects online?
Okay, so maybe I will describe a little bit more about this process. For the prospect clients, actually, it's quite simple to get a loan up to 100,000 euro, because this offer is dedicated for the clients who has start journey with ING and wants to be an ING client and get the loan here. Up to 100,000 euro, they can go to this online request, submit their identification number, then we upload the data about them, about the client from registers which are available publicly. And after uploading this data, client just submit what he wants, and of course amount, tenor, and of course some statements about himself. And additional on that, some financials, which are the simple financial information like income or costs. And on the basis of this information, in a few minutes, you receive a decision. So actually, it's a quite smooth process. And taking into consideration that this is, you can say, some kind of decision which is conditional, because it's not unconditional decision, because one of the steps after this decision, you have to become an ING client. So we can make a quick assessment of yourself and tell you, if you want, we will give it to you, of course, but you have to become an ING client. So we transfer client when he wants to use this loan and get it from our online journey to the onboarding journey. So these journeys are connected. So we are not having different two journeys. We have one journey for lending, which is purely digital. If you are a new client, then if you want to use this offer and you just want to use this loan, then you have to become an ING client. So you go to the journey of opening account and establishing internet banking when you will be able to sign the agreement, because the agreement will be signed in the internet banking. So the journey is, on the one hand, very simple on the decision part. Then is the online journey for becoming an ING and establishing internet banking. And the rest is a signing agreement and using the loan, which is quite automatic in the internet banking environment. So the difference between this one and the existing client is like that, but for the existing client, you don't have this journey of becoming an ING and establishing ING business. The rest is quite the same. You just get the decision, but you don't have to add any information about yourself, because we already have it in the systems. So you don't even have to put your identification tax number or any other identification number, because you are already logged into the environment of internet banking. So we already know that you are the client who wants to apply. So on the end, it's much more simple to assess this client, because there are less fields to fill in. You can say like this, and the quicker you will receive the fund on your account, because there is no this journey of becoming an ING client, because you are already an ING client.
Yes, the stage of the customer onboarding has been done earlier. Yes.
And this is also a challenging process currently in the market, because there are a lot of requirements from the regulators about this KYC procedures, etc. So this process of becoming a client of bank is also challengeable sometimes.
Yeah. We have two questions already. I will read them. First was from Marina. Thank you, Marina, for your questions. Do you have regulations where you obtain the customer's original documents, for example, financial statements, official documents, etc.? You mean in paper form?
Yeah. Actually, if the client, because in Poland we have, for the legal entities, we have the obligation, but clients have to submit their financial statements to the registered court. If they are submitting this financial statement in electronic way, of course, in the standard type of file to register court, there is no obligation even to add any information, because we are taking them out online without even asking the client. But of course, there are also some private individuals, like you can say the entrepreneurs, which are the smaller or micro companies, which are not obliged to submit these financial statements, and they sometimes have also simplified accounting. And for this type of clients, we use the statement. So they state how much income and how much cost they are having, and we ask them to confirm this income in some income statement from last tax office submission document, and they are obliged to attach it online as an electronic file for a validation controlling ops before disbursement of the loan. So it's like this is still in the journey of the digital journey of a client, but there is a validation, the statement of the clients with this statement of the document which they are submitting, but they are not somehow lying us with the information they are submitting. So this is the only obligation in the process we have. We don't ask any other obligations in this matter.
Yes, and these documents in electronic form are considered as original.
There's no paper at all.
The second question from Marco: what kind of loans do you have the possibility to receive via online request regarding the tenor, and what about the investment loans? So I think this means the loans with the collateral.
Yeah. So for you can say online application, we have all. We have leasing, we have factoring, we have multi-product agreements, we have investment loans, we have EU funded loans, so everything. But of course, not everything is in the instant automatic decision process, because in the instant automatic decisions up to 100,000 euro, we have less products available for the time being. For the new to ING clients, we have a cash loan, card limits, we have overdrafts. And this is new purely this products for the time being. We are working on also on the leasing to have it, and we also have micro factoring. So this is a separate process. It's not in the same application, but this is we are transferring client to a separate process of micro factoring if they want to have a micro factoring. So you can say, but we have leasing we will have soon. Factoring is in place in this automatic decision. Cash loan is the primary loan which we use if you want to have a loan with amortization, overdraft, and cut limits. From the perspective of tenors, we grant loans actually mainly to the up to 10 years, and this is for purely usually used for the investment loans because they are longer with the repayment and the investment period, which we will be returning some equity from investment. And of course, for the automatic decision, this tenor is up to 8 years, but for the target model, it's still up to 10 years. So for the time being, due to the COVID restrictions and other restrictions of the policy, we use maximum 8 years. For the prospect client, even less 6 years, but the target model is 10 years.
Okay. My question to you, Michał, is how many people do you have in your SME finance tribe in the bank? How big is the team that is involved in all these processes and innovations on everyday basis?
You know, when I was starting this journey when we were starting building this digital lending journey, there was like 20 people, you know, because there was everything in paper, there was only procedures, and most of the people were not in the headquarters, but in the front office, you know, because they were processing this application.
Yeah.
And nowadays, when we have, you know, the many journeys like this automatic instant lending, the medium lending, which is semi-automated, you can say, and the large lending, which is, of course, everything is going online, but it's processed with analysis, is processed in a, you can say, digital way, but in the more complex way of analysis. And of course, we have all the post-sales services like, you know, disbursements, additional repayments, collection, you know, restructuring, monitoring, etc. Everything is in my tribe, you can say, and also including leasing and factoring. So taking advantage of this wide range of products and services we are providing, we have currently working people around 110 people, including from the business side and from the tech side. So they are working together in the squads.
Yes. And you actually, as ING Bank, also was one of the first implementing the agile
yes, that's true.
years working methodology in the bank. So how do you define yourself? What is your main success factor? What makes you the best on the market? What makes you the first on the market with the innovations for the business customers?
I think I was stubborn, I would say, from the beginning. You know, when we have, of course, we have a clear and stable strategy, but going forward with its digitalization for many years. And of course, to provide the best services to our client, that's our main goal. And you know, the strategy is common and, you know, it's stable for many years. I think it's also crucial that you have some kind of stability. But of course, strategy is one side, and the people are the second factor, I would say, who are, you know, you can say building this strategy or even, you know, executing this strategy from the perspective of the field. And from my perspective, I'm quite a stubborn person. You know, I remember discussion in the past, but I had with my managers. But when I was thinking about the instant lending, there was not such a thing on the market like instant lending at that time. And I was saying I want to build the instant lending to have an automatic decision. I was what?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like you are no, I want to because the future is there, yeah. And then it's
Yeah.
like going, not not making yourself, but okay, there is one obstacle, and you don't want to go farther because there's an obstacle. No, go farther. If you believe in something, then you go directly to to build it. And
Mm-hmm.
of course it's not like you are sure that it will be a success, but if you are determined to
Yeah.
learn by doing, even on mistakes of yourself, then I think you will be a successful. You will have a successful story because it's not easy. Sometimes to convince the market, to convince your clients, to convince your colleagues
Mm-hmm.
that what you are really want to deliver is the right thing and you will be successful. Because of course on the end there is coming money,
Yeah.
resources, etc., which is the normal life for everybody of us. But if you believe in something, just go for it. And
Yes.
if you have the right persons, people around you who will, go follow you and will, help you with this, then you will have a success,
Mm-hmm.
both on, your team and teams which are cooperating with you.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. I was sure that this is you, your team, and bank's strategy and bank's culture actually to that motivates and pushes. I would say the innovations.
True.
Okay, we have next questions from Antonio. How do you explore the potential within the retail customers, individuals that might be also SME customers?
Currently, we have the same system, you can say, for the entrepreneurs and for the private individuals, which is more ING, but we are a little bit changing it because we are also seeing that the habits of the clients as a private individuals are changing. And also the law and changes in the regulations are helping it to divide these two, you can say, surface of or the environments of working. One is the private life, and the other one is the business. In the past, there was more, connection and no distinguish between these two
Mhm.
worlds. Now, due to the regulations, due to the clear essential feeling that you should split your personal life from your business, there is more, pressure to divide these elements. So we also divide it, and we want to have the entrepreneurs in the separate system, like treat them like a business, like a macro company, which is like a legal entity. What small legal entity who is running the business? It's not differing from any more from the private
Mhm.
entrepreneurial world. And of course, if you are having some data about your, individuals who is your client and also running the business, then it's easier to adopt this data also in your algorithm of credit worthiness somehow, and also take into account on your, you can say, customer experience journeys, and also the data science teams. We have a data science teams who are also working and trying to somehow search the data of what we have, of course, on the condition that client
Mhm.
gave us consent
That's
for
right.
it to do it, because this is the primary assumption. But client gives us consent to investigate some data to give them more better service in general. So we are
Mhm.
also doing it on the side of the data scientist, but on the basis of what we are allowed to do on the consent of clients. So we do it, and it's also quite sometimes you can say, um, which we are not expecting the result, and then it's coming over from it. But on the end, the pressure is more to divide this world from
Mhm.
the time being, and of course it's changeable. And we are also observing it, because in the past it was more like connected, now it's more going away.
Mhm. And I would maybe add here that ING is one of the several banks that offers or gives the opportunity to register business via the bank's website,
That's
right?
true. Yeah, that's true. We also, if you want to start a business as an entrepreneur, if you are a private individual, you are
Yeah.
not an entrepreneur yet, it is possible to do it also via your application, which you are using, this Moje, and then you can
Yes.
open a business. So it's
Via
also
the
possible.
online banking.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay. Another question from Marina: what is the process for clients requesting more than 100,000 euros? Does it also occur in the internet or banking or website?
Yeah, if a client wants to, for example, 500,000 euro, so for this client, it's still online. So the online application and all the informations which we are capturing the online application are only digital. So there is no traditional way of thinking. If it's a client, this is the legal entity, then we are also taking out from the register the financials, so we are able to assess the client before even the application will be transferred to the relationship manager, because for this big loans, we give the automatic decision, but it's not communicated immediately to the client for the time being. It's communicated to the relationship manager, and the relationship manager is checking some risk drivers of the decision, which is, you can say, done as some like preliminary decision. And if there is nothing, constraints, there is of course discussion about the pricing, sometimes discussion about the conditions, and finalized sign off on the front office, and the end is still coming over to the client via internet banking to sign the agreement electronically. So the journey is, you can say, quite similar, but the difference is like that, but we don't communicate the decision to the client, but the communication of the decision is by the relationship manager on the basis of his final sign off on the, you can say, the preliminary analysis and assessment of the client. But the finalization is still in the ING business of the internet banking environment when you sign the agreement electronically and it comes back for the disbursement automatically.
My next question to you, Michał, will be on your opinion, how exactly in banks, because we see that some fintechs started to implement some processes based on the PSD2 and open banking possibilities, I would say. How would you assess the changes in the process of the online, of the digital, let's say, lending to business customers, if banks will start using this PSD2 directive and open banking more actively?
On the one, PSD2 is on one side opportunity, on the other side it's challengeable, I would say, because for the you can say the private individuals, it's more common used now, and some banks, even we are offering our clients also services like you can have one overview in our internet banking of all your private accounts. So this is already possible in Moje ING on the private individuals. But on the company side, it's a little bit more complex, because you have this usually for the legal entities you have multi-representative company. So there is not single person who is representing the company. It's usually few people who are signing off some elements like consents, like agreements, etc. So then you have to have a little more complex solutions. And from my perspective, of course, the PSD2 and allowance of getting data from different accounts from other banks, it's an advantage to give client quicker decision and to give better decision to the client. So this is for the future something I think which will be becoming more and more common as a source of data, I would say, to the algorithm, but it's not the solution itself. It's just a source of data. But of course, as every source of data, then you still have to have a consent of the client. And for the single, if you are an entrepreneur, it's quite more simple, because you are the one man show, you can say, and you are giving this consent because you are responsible whole for your business. But if you have this multi-representative company, then the consent has to be given by many people, and then the you can say the fun is starting, because if I'm a company, just imagine if you are just applying for a loan and bank, and you need to give a consent to access to your other accounts for data, and you have to do it by three people.
Yeah.
Is it simple way to do it this way, or is it simple to do it by yourself by stating income and costs? And answer yourself, what is the customer journey which is more simple for you. So if it will be more and more going forward to to simplify the access to the data, to consent to access process this data, then it will be becoming more and more efficient to use it in the digital journeys from my perspective. If not, I prefer, and I would say that if I would be a company and applying for a loan, for me it would be easier, to state I have this income and this cost because I have it, on my paper, and then to give a consent in a certain way, then ask you, Olena, give a consent on the second stage because you have to sign with me, and then if we have a third person, ask the third person to sign again to give a consent with the man.
Yeah.
The journey is more
complicated. Yeah. Okay. We have a question from Marian. How has the duration of the process changed compared to the process before digitalization? Yes, I think we mentioned that.
I think you were asking for the throughput time, like how long the process is, the time of the process. I guess if I understand it right. For the perspective of of the instant loans, this one up to 100,000 euro, it's instant. So it's like just a click. It's like a minute, and you have decision, you have agreement, and you have found. So it's a really instant loan. For the bigger loans, like for the time being up to 2.5 million euro, we have the standards to give it in 24 hours for the existing client because we don't have this KYC and onboarding side. But if it's also including this KYC and onboarding side, we have this 48 hours. Then there's an additional 1 day, to confirm of everything, an open account and all the environment. So this is like above 2.5 million euro. It's more traditional, more detailed analysis because the loan or amount of the loan is bigger, and then we usually do it in 6-7 days on average.
Yes, and I remember you mentioned that before the digitalization, it's this bigger loans.
Days. It was 17 days, and it doesn't matter what size of the loan. It was, for 100,000 euro, it was 17 days. For 2.5 million, it was 17 days, and above 2.5 million was 17 days. So it was, there was no distinguish between the amount. Every amount was treated the same. It was the same process.
Yeah. What are your next plans and targets?
We will definitely develop more on the instant. That's our target. I think we will be managed also to do this year, and I think in third quarter we will have a surprise for our clients. But we will increase the path of instant, and the accessibility of instant lending will be much more wilder than it is today. And I think this is something. This is really a strategy for us to go farther with the instant and to give much more, sufficient solution for our clients to have immediate quick answer and get the immediate quick loan. So that's our main movement now. And of course, we all still want to have more digitalization also on the, you can say, the post-sale services, because this part is also quite big one from a perspective of services we are already providing our clients when the loan is granted. But I think for us, it's still not enough. We can do more, and I think this is also some kind of strategy for us to go farther with this and to give clients more services in digital way when you are servicing your loan in the post-sale, you can say, services.
Yes, well, good luck with it, Michał. We are staying, tuned and following all that you are implementing and doing so. And we are happy, we will be happy to share with all the news and innovations you will be implementing. So we are, looking forward to the next ones. So thank you very much for sharing your experience at ING Bank Poland. Thank you very much to all our attendees and to your very active participation in today's webinar. So you are also welcome to join us on our next webinars we're doing on the weekly basis. So every week we have different topics. So you're welcome to subscribe our YouTube channel and LinkedIn page to stay tuned. So thank you very much.